Thank you, Chuck Norris. I know we will sleep safer at night knowing that he doesn't sleep. Tomorrow, we need you to go vote. You can go vote today if you want to, and then go back and vote again tomorrow. That's the way we do it in Arkansas. Vote early, vote often. But here's what I need you to do. Great group of folks out here. I'm so grateful for your coming. But I need to ask you not just to go vote, but multiply yourselves many times over. Vote not only, but get your friends and relatives, people you work with, your neighbors. Ask them, are you going to vote for Mike Huckabee? If they say yes, don't let them stop. If they say I'm not sure, convince them. And if they say, after you try to convince them that they're not going to vote for me, then don't let them go vote. You have two jobs. First, get all the voters who are going to go vote for me out there. And second, keep those other folks home. You know, as I hear people say sometimes, oh, it doesn't matter who you vote for as long as you go vote. No, sir, it matters who you vote for. So if you've got some stubborn friends going to vote someplace else, just let the air out of their tires tomorrow. Tell them the election's been moved to March or something like that. I want to be the president that will be seen as a people's president. Not a president of the politicians, the pundits, the chattering class, but somebody who understands where he came from. Prophet Isaiah said it this way, look to the rock from which you were hewn, and to the quarry from which you were dug. I know where I've come from. My parents were of that group of folks we call the greatest generation. We call them that because they deserve the title. They lived through a Great Depression, a World War. They were the ones who gave birth to a huge group of Americans called the baby boom generation. And they had one goal for us. They wanted to make sure that we ended up living a better life and had a better America than the one they had. And they were incredibly successful because of the sacrifices they were willing to make. You know, it had been real easy for them to have gone through the Depression and the World War and end up angry, bitter, cynical, pessimistic, turning sour on this country. But that's not what happened. They loved this country, and because they loved it, they were resilient and resolved that the next generation would have it better. And today, most of us are living better today than we even ever dreamed, and certainly than our parents could have ever imagined. That's certainly true for me. My mother was the oldest of 7 kids growing up in Hope, Arkansas. Because of that, she had to go to work early and help the rest of her brothers and sisters. As a little girl, she lived in a house that didn't have electricity, running water. It had dirt floors and outdoor toilets. There's probably some folks in East Tennessee who were about a generation away from that kind of poverty. On my dad's side of the family, no male upstream from me, including my dad, had ever graduated high school. Ever. I was the first. My parents wanted me to have an education. They knew that that would make a difference for me. Not only to get out of high school, but to go into college. And I worked my way through. I didn't have anybody with a trust fund that said, here, you can just go and play. That's why when I went to college, I worked 40 hours a week to pay for it. I got through in 2 years and 3 months. And I didn't get through in a hurry because I was smarter than everybody else, because I was poorer than a lot of them, and I didn't have time to spend 4 years, and I didn't have the kind of money to afford it for 4 years. And I realized I could get through in quicker time. So I did. My whole life, I've started at the bottom. I know what that means. This election, I started at the bottom. I know what it means. You know, I know there's some people, there's one set of some folks that are born on third base and think they hit a triple. Well, I don't know that kind of life. But I know the kind of life that a lot of Americans have lived. And I really do understand where I've come from. But the reason I love this country is because I know that because of this country, that where I started is not where I had to stop. And I want to make sure that you can raise a son or a daughter or see a grandchild who, no matter where he starts in this life, you know that because of the opportunities in this country, he can dream his dreams and go anywhere possible in this nation. The only way that can happen is for us to keep the American dream alive. Ladies and gentlemen, let me make it real clear to you. As a kid growing up, I never thought I'd see a governor. Certainly never see a president in person. When I was 8 years old, my father took me down to meet the governor of Arkansas, who was in town to make a speech. My dad said this. He said, son, I'm going to take you down. The governor's coming to dedicate a lake, and you're going to go down there and hear him talk, because he said, son, you may live your whole life and you may never meet a governor in person. Little did he know that his own son would become the 44th governor of the state of Arkansas, and serve 10.5 years. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, if you'll give me the next 24 hours and get your friends and relatives and folks all over Tennessee and all these states that are in the primary, get them out to vote for me. With your help, your prayers, your hard work, I'll be on my way to becoming the 44th President of the United States of America.